Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Am I audible, guys? Please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Am I audible? Please respond to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Guys, please check it. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Am I audible? Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Click. నేను రావట్లేదు స్టార్ట్ చేసిన ఆల్రెడీ ఓకే రైట్ రైట్ సార్ and check it what we completed in the last session, what topics here we understood there. So I think so we are discussing about the differences between Java and other programming languages. In the differences here we understand. So in the differences here we understand almost all 3 to 4 differences we completed already. What differences we understood already? Now tell me what is the very first one here we completed there. C and C++ are what programming languages? Static programming languages. But Java is what? A dynamic programming language. Next one is after that, after completion of this, preprocessor is required in C and C++, but preprocessor is not required in what there? Java. Next one is C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but whereas Java is what there? Platform independent programming language. Then after that, the fourth point also will be completed. What is that fourth point here we are understanding there? Pointer variables exist in C and C++, but pointer variables do not exist in what there? Java. All right, so now this point is the last class point here we understood. Now tell me, so now, shop this coaches. All right, sir. Now, pointer variable is a variable that is able to store address locations of the data structures, where the data structures may be a variable or an array or a structure or another pointer variable. In C and C++ applications, pointer variables are recognized and initialized by the compilers at the time of the compilation. Why pointer variables not exist in Java? Why they are not available in Java? I given some reasons. What reasons are given there? Now observe carefully. The reasons would be pointer variables required static memory allocation, but Java is following what? Dynamic memory allocation. Pointer variables are supported by the static programming languages, but Java is what there? A dynamic programming language. Pointer variables are very much suitable in the platform dependent programming languages, but Java is a platform independent programming language. Pointer variables are able to reduce security for the data, but Java is a very good secure programming language. Pointer variables, pointers is a confusion oriented feature, but Java is a simple programming language. It must not provide confusion to the developers. If we observe all these points, finally we concluded that pointer variables are not at all suitable or not existed inside what their Java programming language. They are suitable in C and C++. How can you say that these pointer variables are suitable in C and C++? What is the reason for it? No. The point is what? Pointer variables are supported by static programming languages. C and C++ are what their static programming languages. Pointer variables require static memory allocation. Definitely, that C and C++ are providing what their static memory allocation. Next one is what there pointer variables. Pointer variables are very much suitable in platform dependent programming languages. C and C++ are what their platform dependent programming languages only. Pointer variables are able to reduce security for the data. When compared with Java, C and C++ are able to provide less security for the data. Next one is pointer variables is a confusion oriented feature. Now C and C++ are not simple programming languages when compared with Java. When compared with Java, understand it clearly. But when compared with some other programming languages, C and C++ are somewhat better. But when compared with Java, pointer variable C and C++ are what they're not simple programming languages. Right, sir. Then immediately I give in some points to you. What are the differences between pointer variables and reference variables? I've given some points with you. Pointer variables exist in C and C++, whereas reference variables exist in what they're Java. Pointer variables are able to refer to a block of memory by storing address locations, whereas reference variables reference variables are able to refer a block of memory by storing the object reference value, where the object reference value is the hexadecimal form of the hash code, where hash code is an unique identity provided by the heap manager in the form of an integer value. Pointer variables required static memory allocation and which are supported by the static programming languages and the platform dependent programming languages. Reference variables require dynamic memory allocation and which are supported by the dynamic programming languages and the platform independent programming languages. Then yesterday I given some information, some points about like what there, how reference variables are going to be generated, that internal flow of execution here are given. What is that internal flow of execution? Now tell me in this case here, observe carefully. Int a is equal to 50 into star p is equal to ampersand here. This is pointer variable declaration and initialization. When we compile this intersection into a is equal to 50, immediately what is created here? Maybe a block of memory will be created where 50 value will be stored for a variable. Its address location is what there? 1010. Int star p is a pointer variable with memory. P is equal to ampersand a. Ampersand a in the sense what the address location of the a. That address location value we assign to what variable? P variable. Okay, fine. This is in the case of C and C++. But if you come for Java, in Java, class A here we have taken. For this class A, we are creating an object. Whenever we are trying to create an object for class A, automatically what is going to be happen when JVM encounter this particular instruction, a small a is equal to new a constructor, immediately JVM will execute new keyword. When JVM is executing new keyword, automatically JVM is sending a request to the heap manager about to create an object. Heap manager will search for the object required block of memory, then it will assign a block of memory for JVM requirement. This block of memory for JVM requirement is called as like what there, that block of memory for JVM requirement, that is exactly called as object. Object here it is created clearly. Whenever the object is created, whenever this object is created, automatically an unique identity is created for this particular object. The unique identity provided by heap manager in the form of an integer value is called as what their hash code of the object. When a hash code value is created, that hash code value will be provided to the JVM. Now JVM is converting the hash code value to its hexadecimal form. Hexadecimal form of hash code is called as what the reference value of the object. When a reference value is created, that reference value will be assigned to a variable. That variable is called as what their reference variable. That variable is called as what their reference variable. Clear to all of you know? Here we are getting clearly what their reference variable here we are getting. All right, sir. All of you understand it clearly. This is reference variable and it's a content here now. Okay, fine. This part is completed. Now, if we compare this pointer variable and reference variable, pointer variable is able to refer a block of memory by storing address location of the data. But reference variable is able to refer a block of memory by storing object reference value. where object reference value is a hexadecimal form of the hash code, where hash code is an unique identity provided by heap manager for each and every object in the form of an integer value. Hash code is an integer value, not address location. Reference value is an integer value. That means hexadecimal form of the hash code, not an address location. A reference variable is not storing any reference value, not storing any address locations. Reference variable is able to store only object reference values. Right, sir. Up to this part here we completed in the last class. This is about like what there exactly the fourth point, like what there pointer variables and their existence in C, C++ and Java. Okay, leave this one. Now let's move on to the next one. Observe carefully the fifth point here. Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. Understand the point, everybody? Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. So before going to understand multiple inheritance is possible or not possible in a Java programming language, before this point, first of all, what is multiple inheritance? Before this, what is inheritance? Before this, from where this inheritance concept is coming? All these points here we have to understand. Let us start from scratch, understand the content here point by point. Some foundation I'm preparing, now try to understand for this particular point. Clear? Observe carefully. Java is an object-oriented programming language. Am I right? Java is an object-oriented programming language. Am I right? Yes, clear. Java is an object-oriented programming language. That's okay, fine. But how can you say that Java is an object-oriented programming language? Forget about Java. How can you say one programming language is an object-oriented programming language? How can you say that one programming language is an object-oriented programming language? All right, I'm giving clarity. Try to understand it now. If any programming language represents the data in the form of objects, in the form of the objects, by following the object oriented features, then that programming language is called an object oriented programming language. Come again, what's the definition here I've given there? Now tell me, what is an object oriented programming language? If any programming language represents the data or storing the data in the form of what? Objects. In the form of what? Their objects. By following what? Object oriented features. While representing data in the form of objects, a set of rules and regulations there we have to follow. In C programming language also, data will be stored in the block of memory. In C++ also, data will be stored in the block of memory. In Java also, data will be stored in the block of memory. In every programming language, data must be stored in the block of memory only. In Java, that block of memory is called as an object. In C++ also, that block of memory is called as what there? An object. In C programming language, that block of memory may be structure or maybe some other name. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? Language to language, names are going to be changed. In C++, while storing data in the block of memory, a set of rules and regulations we have to follow. That is up to C++. In C, while storing data in the block of memory, some other set of rules and regulations we are going to follow. That is up to C. Similarly, in Java, while storing data in a block of memory, a set of rules and regulations we are going to follow. In Java, that set of rules and regulations are called object-oriented features. In the case of Java, while storing data in the form of the objects, a set of rules and regulations here we are able to follow. That set of rules and regulations are called as what they're object-oriented features. Getting clarity? All right. Now understand the point here. object-oriented features. What are the various object-oriented features in the case of Java programming language? Not only in the case of Java, in all the object-oriented programming, in all the object-oriented programming languages, what are the various object-oriented features now? There are 7 numbers of the object-oriented features. There are 7 number of object-oriented features. What are these 7 number of object-oriented features here? Number 1, class. Number 2, object. Number 3, encapsulation. Number 4, abstraction. Number 5, inheritance. Number 6, polymorphism. Number 7, message passing. Almost all people are neglecting this one. People are not including that message passing, but it's also be one of the object-oriented feature. Even if you want to remove it, we can remove it. At present, might be people are not thinking about it. People are not including even that message passing it, but it's one of the object-oriented feature. Observe carefully. Tell me, sir, what are the various object-oriented features? No, first one is what there class. Next one is what there object. Next one is what there encapsulation. Next one is abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. Right. Out of all these object-oriented features, now I need inheritance concept. What topic I required here now? Inheritance. I need to understand what their inheritance. What exactly the meaning of inheritance? What is inheritance? We have to understand it clearly. All right. Understand the point here. What is inheritance in this particular case? No. Before going to start inheritance, remember one point. In object-oriented programming languages, programming will be provided by using classes. Programming will be provided by using what their classes. What are the various classes actually? Class employee. There we are going to declare some variables and methods. Next one is what there class student. There also we are going to declare what there some variables and methods. Next one is what there class customer. There also we are going to provide what there some variables and methods. Like this, we are going to provide programming by using classes. Is it? All of you get my point or not? By using what their classes. Okay. Now, what is inheritance? If we want to understand inheritance, we need to understand the class. By using classes only, we are going to write the programming in the case of object-oriented programming languages. Okay, fine. But what is inheritance? Observe carefully. What I've written? It's the relation between classes. What is this? It's the relation between classes. Good. It will provide variables and methods from one class to the other class, another class. One class to the another class. Okay. It will provide variables and methods from one class to the another class in order to reuse the variables and methods. Now tell me, what is inheritance actually? It's a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from one class to the another class in order to reuse the variables and methods. Getting clarity on these points now? All right. Observe carefully. In inheritance, the class which is providing variables and methods to some other class is called a superclass. Of course, different names are available. Superclass or a parent class or a base class. Now tell me the class which provides variables and methods to some other class is called a superclass or parent class or what there a base class. But out of all these names, Java is having the name is what there superclass. Java follows the name is what there? Superclass. Not base class, not parent class. Fine. Listen carefully. In inheritance, the class which is getting variables and methods, the class which is getting variables and methods from the superclass, is called a subclass. Is called was there a subclass, or we are able to call it as like what there a child class, or we may call it as what there derived class. What classes can we are able to provide now? The class which is getting variables and methods from a superclass is called a subclass or a child class or a derived class. Again, I'm telling there, out of all these terminologies, subclass is the right terminology in Java. Java is using the subclass terminology. So superclass is providing variables and methods. Subclasses are reusing that variables and methods. Superclasses are defining variables and methods. Subclasses are reusing that variables and methods. This is exactly the scenario here we are able to identify. All of you are getting it or not? Okay, fine. Listen carefully, all of you know. I'm asking one question, try to answer for it. What is the main advantage of inheritance? Please read out this statement, what I've given about this inheritance. It's a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from one class to another class in order to, for what purpose there? In order to reuse variables and methods. So now the point is what I'm telling there. The main advantage of the inheritance, the main advantage of the inheritance, the main advantage of the inheritance is code reusability. The main advantage of the inheritance is what there? Code reusability. Clear to all of you know? The main advantage of inheritance is what there? Code reusability. Okay, good. Up to that, it's okay. Now, just 1 minute back. Now, try to understand what exactly the points I discussed here. Actually, today our title is what there? The topic is what there? Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. That is actually the point. Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. All right, there where what I have given there. If any programming language represents the data in the form of the objects by following the object-oriented features, then the programming language is called an object-oriented programming language. First of all, I've given what is the meaning of object-oriented programming language. In object-oriented programming language, we have the description about what their object-oriented features. How many types of object-oriented features are, how many number of object-oriented features are available? 7 numbers of object-oriented features. What are the 7 number of object-oriented features? No, class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. Then out of all these, today about to discuss about this multiple inheritance, I required only inheritance. I don't require all the remaining features. I need only what there? Inheritance. Sir, all of you are getting it or not? I required only inheritance. Then what is inheritance here? What is the meaning of this inheritance? Now tell me, it's a relation between classes. It is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from one class to another class. Here the class which is providing variables and methods is called as what there? A superclass. Here the class which is getting variables and methods from superclass is called as what there? Subclass. Now tell me, what is the main advantage of the inheritance? No, main advantage of the inheritance is what there? Code reusability. Yes, sir. All of you are getting clarity up to now. Can I move forward? Understand it now. Initially, initial in the sense at the beginning stages of the object orientation, initially there are only 2 types of the inheritances. Actually 5 types. In object orientation, how many types of inheritances are available? 5 types. But initially only 2 types of inheritances. What are the 2 types of inheritances actually? First one is single inheritance. First one is what there? Single inheritance. And the second one is what there? Multiple inheritance. First one is single inheritance. And the second one is what there? Multiple inheritance. All of you are getting clarity? First one is what there? Single inheritance. And the second one is what there? Multiple inheritance. All right. Listen carefully. On the basis of the above two types of the inheritances, there are three more inheritances. Initially, two types of inheritances, single and multiple. On the basis of the above two types of inheritances, there are three more inheritances. That means three more inheritances are derived from the first two types of inheritances. What are the three more inheritances here in this case now? Understand it clear. The first one is what there? Multi-level inheritance. That's it. The first one is like what there? Multi-level inheritance. After this, next one is what there? Hierarchical inheritance. And the third one is hybrid inheritance. Right. Now tell me overall, how many types of inheritances are available? Five. What are the five types? First one is what? Single inheritance. Second one is what? Multiple inheritance. Third one is what? Multi-level. Fourth one is what? Hierarchical. Next one is what? Hybrid inheritance. Got it or not? But actually our point is what today? Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. That's the point. To describe this particular point, I started our conversation right from object-oriented programming languages onwards. And finally, we reach to what point here? Types of inheritances. Among the types of inheritances, I required only what point now? Multiple inheritance. I don't require these 3 points. An object orientation. Anyway, we have discussion about this inheritance. Very good discussion. There I will cover about all the types of inheritances. But at present, as we want to complete this multiple inheritance is not possible in Java, that particular point, first we are going to understand single inheritance. After that, directly we will move on to what there? Multiple inheritance. After completion of that multiple inheritance description, then we will understand why multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. Why multiple inheritance is not existed in Java, that we are going to understand that. So first of all, let us understand single inheritance. What is the meaning of the single inheritance? What is the meaning of the single inheritance? All right, sir. First of all, tell me what is the definition for inheritance? It's the relation between classes. Am I right or not? Single inheritance also be what there? It's a relation between classes. Okay, fine. It's a relation between classes, comma. What type of relation? How the relation is going to be available? It will provide variables and methods of from here itself. Understand it now. It will provide variables and methods of from only one superclass to one or more subclasses. In the case of inheritance, definition is what? Inheritance is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from one class to another class. Generic definition, general definition. But single inheritance, what is that single inheritance? No, it is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from only, this is a condition. There is a conditional number of superclasses. There is a conditional what there? Number of superclasses. From only one superclass, we want to get variables and methods to the one or more number of subclasses. We don't have any conditional number of subclasses. We have conditional only what there? Number of superclasses. Right. This is exactly the meaning of what there? Single inheritance. Java doesn't support single inheritance. Java is giving support for what there? Single inheritance. We can prepare programming part in Java for single inheritance. Sir, all of you are getting clarity or not? But how, sir? Then at least I want to show some diagrammatic representation. Try to understand the diagram here. All of you are okay, no? Now try to understand this diagrammatic representation. Right. Now observe carefully. This I want to take what there? Class A. Okay. This I want to declare class B. In the case of inheritance, upwards arrow we are going to use to represent inheritance. Arrow header part is always pointing superclass. Arrow tiler part is always representing what their subclass. Now I want to take class A. I want to declare class B. I want to provide some variables and methods in class A. Int I is equal to 10. Void M1 method. Okay. We declared I variable and M1 method in what their class K. The same I variable and M1 method we can access I is equal to I plus 10. Then M1 method here we can access inside the respective child class. I'm asking this question. Where we declared I variable class K. Where we are accessing the I variable class B. That means declaration in one class, but utilization is another class. Is it not the meaning of reusability? Where we declared M1 method, class K, that is super class. Where we are using that M1 method, class B. Is it not the meaning of reusability? Okay, fine. Next, one more point. In a Java, the total inheritance is represented by using a keyword, a predefined keyword. That is what there extends. In Java, what keyword here we are using there to represent this inheritance? That keyword is what there extends. Extends keyword here we are using. So class B extends A. Class B extends A. Automatically A is a superclass, B is the subclass. Now this is what inheritance actually? Single inheritance. The Java does support this single inheritance. Java does support what there? Single inheritance. Leave it. Now this is completed. Fine. This is completed. Now try to understand it clearly. Next one is now coming to the multiple inheritance. Single inheritance we understood. Now coming to the multiple inheritance. What is this multiple inheritance actually? It's a relation between the classes. Same. But it will provide variables and methods. It will provide variables and methods from more than one superclass to one or more subclasses. Here also there is a conditional number of superclasses. No condition is on number of subclasses. In case of multiple inheritance, what is the conditional number of superclasses? No, it will provide variables and methods of from what? From what? More than one superclass to one or more subclasses. All of you are getting it or not? In the case of single inheritance, what is the condition here? No, it will provide variables and methods from only one superclass. But in the case of multiple inheritance, it will provide variables and methods from more than one superclass to one or more subclasses. Yes, sir. Got it or not? Simple. In general, if you want to compare the concept, inheritance is a relation like what their parent-child relationship. Parents has some properties. All these properties are used by the consumed by the child only. Automatically, whatever the properties which are available with the parents, no, all these properties and behaviors are coming toward their child automatically. Get my point or not? Of course, the child may improve the business or maybe keeping some losses for the business. It's okay, fine. Depends on the child capability. But the point is what? Automatically, the parent properties are coming toward their child only. Okay, fine. Only one parent, any number of child, single inheritance. But in some situations, what I'm telling there, original parents are available, but some other parents are taking adoption of a child, adopting a child. I think you're already aware about it. What's the meaning of adoption, right? All right. Now, for the child, how many parents are available? Two parents are available. Two parents are available. Now, he is responsible for both the parents' properties or not? Both the parents' properties are available to this particular child or not? This is nothing but what their multiple inheritance. Understand it, here? In general, if you want to compare. All right. The point is what there. Java doesn't support multiple inheritance. Java doesn't support what there? Multiple inheritance. Single inheritance Java does support, but multiple inheritance Java does not support. Okay. Why it is not supported? That we are going to understand clearly in the form of a diagram. Right. All of you observe carefully. Now I'm going to prepare a diagram here so that we are able to get some clarity. First of all, let me show the multiple inheritance case. Normal multiple inheritance case here I want to show. This is class A. This is class B. This is class C. All right. Now I want to write this is like what their class A, for example. Now this is what their class B. Now this is what their class C. Here we are having what their extends relation. Extends relation here we provided. Okay. All right. Then after this, I want to provide into I into I is equal to 10. Void M1 method. There we have some X implementation. This is in class A superclass. Same thing, but changes. No, This is not I, this time it is J. This is like what the M2. Now here we are having Y implementation. Okay. Now tell me, class C is a child class for both class A and class B or not? So class C has the rights to access members from both class A and class B. As class C is a child class for what there? Class A and class B. So there we can identify clearly I is equal to I is equal to I plus I is equal to I plus 10 semicolon M1 method call J is equal to J plus 10 M2 method call. Now tell me, now class C is able to access members from both the superclasses. I variable is coming from what superclass there? Class A. J variable is coming from what superclass? No, class B. M1 method is coming from what superclass here? Class K. M2 method is coming from what superclass there? Class B. Up to this, we are not getting any problem. It's very clear. The content is very clear. Observe carefully. But still, what I am telling to you, even though it's a fair, even though the concept is very much clear, even though we are not having any confusion here, but still, Java does not allow this multiple inheritance. Still, Java doesn't allow multiple inheritance. Why Java is not allowing multiple inheritance, that we have to understand. All right, sir, observe carefully. I want to go for the same representation, but in the different direction. I want to explain to you, now try to understand it. All right, for example, I want to take, I want to take class A. This is like what their class A. No. Now, similarly, this is what their class B. Similarly, this is what their class C. Okay. Now, class A, inside this class A, I variable is equal to 10, void M1 method, inside this X implementation, X implementation. This is in class K. Okay, fine. Now here in a class B, in a class B, then 1 minute. Not required to specify these classes, no. First of all, let me provide class K. This is class K. Similarly, this is class B. Next, this is what their class C. Okay, int I is equal to 10 void m1 method. There we have x implementation. Like this here we provide it. This is like what I'm telling there class K. At the same time, in class B, I value is 20. In M1 method, Y implementation here we provide it. This is in class B. Extends the relationship now. Class C is having rights to access both the members from both the classes now. So now in class C, what I am doing there, I is equal to I plus 10 we provide it. M1 method call here we provide it. In class C, we provide it I is equal to I plus 10 and M1 method. Now here my question is, when JVM executes I is equal to I plus 10 option, first JVM will search for I variable in class C, not available. Then JVM will search for I variable in the super classes. You know how many super classes that I variable is available? Two super classes that I variable is available. Am I right or not? When I variable is available in two super classes, now here we are getting confusion from which super class that I variable value must come. From which superclass the type variable value is coming. That's a confusion. But both the superclasses are available. Both the superclasses are having same I variable, but with different values. For example, for a moment, if you think I variable value is coming from class A superclass, I variable value is coming from class A superclass. I is equal to 10. Here I is equal to I plus 10. I is equal to 10 plus 10. Is it a 20? For a moment, if we think I value is coming from class B superclass, in class B superclass, I value is what? 20. I is equal to I plus 10. I is equal to 20 plus 10. Is it 30? Which value will come? Is that superclass? Is that I value is coming from superclass A or from superclass B? From which superclass that I value is coming? Is a confusion. When we access M1 method, M1 method is not available in class C, but M1 method is available in both the superclasses. For a moment, if we think M1 method is coming from class K, where X implementation is available, so is that X implementation is going on here? If we think M1 method is coming from class B, superclass, where Y implementation is available for M1 method, is that Y implementation is going on? What is that implementation actually? Is that X implementation or Y implementation? What implementation here we are able to get? Is a confusion. Now tell me, when we have same variables and same methods with the different values and different implementations in both the super classes, when we access that variable and method in the respective subclass, there is a confusion for JVM and for compiler and for developers also. From which superclass that variable value has to come. As a confusion state. You know already one point. Java is a simple programming language. In Java, every feature is a straightforward. They must not provide any confusion. But multiple inheritance is providing what their confusion to the developers. Because of that reason, Java has deleted this multiple inheritance. Java has removed totally this multiple inheritance. No multiple inheritance is available in Java. Multiple inheritance was deleted totally. It was deleted. Even this case is also be not possible. Even though the second case is a fair case, no confusion with the second case. But because of removing that multiple inheritance, the second case is also removed. With the second case, we don't have any confusion, but still, because of the third case, the total multiple inheritance was removed totally from our Java. So no concept like what there, multiple inheritance inside the Java. Clear to all of you or not? So this is the reason why multiple inheritance is not available. Now I'm going to give this total diagram here, but observe carefully. I'm able to give the diagram also clearly. But before this diagram, I want to give some clarity. Understand the points here. All right, Java does not support multiple inheritance. Why multiple inheritance is not supported by Java? I'm going to give clarity. Understand it, no? In the multiple inheritance, if we declare more than one, if we declare same variable with different values and the same method with the different implementations, same variable with the different implementations in more than one superclass, and if we access that variable and method, if we access that variable and method in the respective subclass, then it is a confusion. Then it is a confusion that from which superclass the respective variable value and the respective method implementation is available to the subclass. Come again, what is the point here I said to you? In the multiple inheritance, if we declare the same variable with the different values and same method with the different implementations in more than one superclass, and if we access that variable and method in the respective subclass, then it is a confusion that from which superclass the respective variable value and the respective method implementation is available to the subclass. Right. In the above context, to avoid the confusion, Java has removed the multiple inheritance totally from the Java programming. Java has disabled totally the multiple inheritance from its programming. In the above context, to avoid the confusion, Java has removed the multiple inheritance totally from the Java programming, from the Java applications. Understand it clearly. You know already one point here. Java is a simple programming language. It should not provide the confusion to the developers. All right, sir. But here I'm telling there, but Java is a simple programming language. But Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow the confusion oriented features in its programming. In the above context, to avoid the confusion, Java has removed the multiple inheritance totally from its programming. All right, sir. That's the point here we have to understand. But how Java has restricted this multiple inheritance? How Java has restricted this total multiple inheritance? Programmatically, how it has avoided this multiple inheritance? There the point is what there? To restrict multiple inheritance, Java has defined the extends keyword. What keywords are now? Tell me. Extends the keyword in such a way that to allow extends keyword in such a way that to allow only one superclass name in such a way that to allow only one superclass name, not to allow more than one superclass name in the class syntax. Right, sir? Observe carefully what it has given there. To restrict multiple inheritance, Java has defined the extends keyword in such a way that to allow one superclass name, not to allow more than one superclass name in the class syntax. Examples here I'm telling to you, observe carefully. Class A extends B valid. Clear. Class A extends B comma C invalid. Class A extends B comma C. What is it actually? Invalid. Why it is invalid now? Tell me. After one superclass name, we provided what there? Comma C. Not even C. If we put comma after the superclass one, after one superclass name, if we put comma, then definitely we are able to get error. Class A extends B valid. Class A extends B comma C is what there? Invalid. Is that clear? All of you are getting clarity on this? So this is the reason why Java has defined extends keyword in such a way that to allow only one superclass name, not to allow more than one superclass name. By defining extends keyword in this way, Java has restricted the total multiple inheritance. Is it? All of you are getting it or not? Right, so now this is the story about like what is there? Multiple inheritance is not available inside the Java. Why multiple inheritance is not available in Java? The total content here I discussed with you. Understand here? Just maybe every day one point I'm discussing there, but the length of the points are available like this. The differences, that importance of the differences is available like this. Don't mind for it. In the future, I already said to you, I want to take your classes right from 4 o'clock. But when from which date onwards I'm going to take that content, I'll give announcement inside the classes there, but not immediately. But hardly it may take nearly 1 week of time. Within 1 week of time, we are going to attend the classes right from what there 4 o'clock. But I will give that clear cut intimation to you. No need to worry for it. All right. Now let's move on to the point here. What we completed today. The today's topic is like what? Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. What we understood there. If any programming, see, understand my approach here now. My requirement is I want to talk about multiple inheritance. It is not available in Java. To represent this particular point, first of all, I'm thinking what is inheritance. Before going to understand what is inheritance, from where this inheritance concept is coming, from that particular point onwards, we are discussing there. Now, first of all, I started from object-oriented programming languages onwards. If any programming language represents the data in the form of the objects by following the object-oriented features, then the programming language is called an object-oriented programming language. There are 7 numbers of object-oriented features. What are the 7 number of object-oriented features? No, class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. What is inheritance actually? It's the relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from one class to the another class in order to reuse the variables and methods. In inheritance, the class which is providing variables and methods to the some other classes is called a superclass or a parent class or a base class. In inheritance, the class which is getting variables and methods from the superclass is called subclass, child class, derived class. The main advantage of the inheritance is what their code reusability. Initially, there are two types of inheritances. What are the two types of inheritances now? Single inheritance, multiple inheritance. On the basis of the above two types of inheritances, there are three more inheritances. What are the three more inheritances here? Multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, hybrid inheritance. What is that single inheritance now? It's the relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from only one superclass to one or more subclasses. Java does support single inheritance. What is this multiple inheritance actually? It is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from more than one superclass to one or more subclasses. Java does not support multiple inheritance. In the multiple inheritance, if we declare the same variable with different values and the same method with different implementations in more than one superclass, and if we access that variable and method in the respective subclass, then it is a confusion for us from which superclass that variable and method is coming to the respective subclass. All right, but Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow confusion to the developers. In the above context, to avoid confusion, Java has removed multiple inheritance totally from its programming. To restrict multiple inheritance, Java has defined the extends keyword in such a way that to allow only one superclass name, not to allow more than one superclass name in the class syntax. Example I have given, class A extends B valid, class A extends B comma C is what there invalid. The respective cases also here I provided clearly. The last two cases are what there multiple inheritance. Even though no issues are available with the second case, no, but still it is not possible in Java. Why? Because totally multiple inheritance was avoided. Completely that multiple inheritance is avoided. Because of that reason, the second case is also not possible in the case of Java. Right, sir. Now this is the total story about like what there multiple inheritance and its content clearly. All of you are getting clarity on this? Fine, sir. That's okay. That's all. Okay, fine. Today I want to stop this session and tomorrow I want to continue. And tomorrow we are going to see 2 to 3 points. Overall 9 number of points are available. Up to now, how many points we completed here? 5 points we completed here. No, just 4 points are remaining. That tomorrow we are going to understand the remaining content there clearly. Okay. Right, sir. That's all for today. I'll meet you tomorrow. Thank you. Thanks a lot.